acolo ceva? Ia să vedem. Hello and welcome to another CodeTap live show. I'm your host Marian, and today we'll be styling the About Me section of our online resume. For those of you that are new over here, let me quickly show you where you can find the free CodeTap videos. So if you go on youtube.com/CodeTap/playlists, you can find all the videos that I published, organized in organized in nice playlists. Our current project, come on, too much. Start streaming. Nu știu dacă îți apare ceva acolo. Îți apare ceva? Ți-a apărut din nou, nu? 30%. Deci asta nu e mare brânz. 32%. Sunt înapoi? Hello guys, I'm back. I just had a blue screen of death. So I had to deal with that. A few updates from the Windows were nice to delay me even more. However, now I'm back. So let's start our project doing npm start. And to quickly finish what I've started earlier on youtube.com/CodeTap/playlists, you can find all the videos that I do and watch them for free. I've also created those lists. One of them is your resume online for free. Let me bump this up. So this one contains all the steps you need to follow to get to the current position in our project. Okay. So right now, let's open the inspector. On Windows, you can press the F12 key, and let's inspect this one. Okay. So let's quickly finish what we started last time. We've created the structure of About Me, and we've also created in the About Me Pag and SASS file. Let's open them. Okay, so in Pag we've created this cool stuff title. However, this is not printed anywhere, so let's quickly print it. Okay, so if we go into About Me Pag, down here, well, actually we do print it. No, this one we don't print it. Okay. Change it to grab cool stuff. Okay. So in Pag, we want to change this to grab cool stuff. And then we do a div about me. Okay. Title. And the value is cool stuff title. And now I see here grab cool stuff. Let's mark this as done. Wrap the buttons in an About Me linked list div. Okay, let's do that. So those buttons over here, in order to wrap them, we just indent them. So we press tab once, and this is indented inside the About Me linked list. So when you save it, those buttons over here are going to sit in an About Me linked list class. Okay, let's see what else we can do. Stage all and commit with create the structure. Okay, so let's commit all our changes. So we go over here and we stage all our changes. Add a commit message, commit it, fail to execute Git. Okay, let's see, Git status, Git config. Okay, let's make this a bit bigger. There's lots of debugging tonight. Thank you, Mr. Computer. So -global get. Okay, let's see. Get user name. Okay, so we don't have configured the username. Fig global user name, and this is my GitHub username. Geez. Okay, let me switch this up. Okay, so this GitHub username, I can get it from my profile. Okay, your profile, maybe settings. Okay, so this is my username, it's my email. So let's do marian@gmail.com. Okay, and do, oh, that's user email. It's marian@gmail.com, and username is Marian Zburlea. Since I have a space, I need to put quotes around it. And now let's see if Git still complains. No, the commit went through. So in case your commits are not working, check if you have a username and a user email defined for Git. And if not, you can configure them for your particular project or globally for your entire PC. And now let's also sync it. Okay. And mark this as done. And get back to our CV. Okay. So a little bit of debugging. I love this. Okay, now let's continue. We want to style the about me section and add those two colors. So let me quickly split this screen. I'll click this explore icon so it goes away, and then split those ones. However, I don't want them split vertically, I want them split horizontally. So I click this line again, and somewhere over here we have this icon. So we switch the orientation of the splitting. Okay, now I can close this agenda to do from the top, and I have the terminal running on the bottom. The agenda is over here, and then we have the editor, so it's plenty of space. Okay, now let's see. So I have to style the about me. Okay, let's replace this by about me and add a radial gradient with those two colors. Okay, background image radial gradient, and we do an ellipse, and then the first color, and then the second one would be this. Okay, so now we have a nice background which starts from a darker color in this area and goes to a lighter color in this area over here. Okay, Okay, let's arrange this just a bit so it's easier for you to see. Okay. And mark this is done. Okay, now we want to make the about me header. Let's see which one is this one. So this about me header, the div with that class, we want to style this one. Let me quickly check what's the chat looking like, Graziella. Okay, so this about me header, we want to set the color to white. This one over here. So say color white, and it became white. And also we want to adjust the padding, font size, and margin bottom. Okay, so the margin bottom, say 1 rem. That should be fine. How about the padding? The padding, once I manage to type it correctly, it's the space between the text and the box margin. So it's inside the box itself. 1 rem. Okay, that looks okay. So 1 rem, let's do 1 rem and 2 rem. 2 rems and 1 rems. And also increase the font size, right? Font size. Okay. 2. Okay, 3. That should be fine. Let's try 5. Oh, that's too much. 4. Yeah. Okay, so we got the color white, padding, font size, just padding. By the way, whenever you do a padding, you notice that this margin over here and this one over here, they look just enough as kind of natural, okay? So if we do only 1 rem on all sizes, this one looks a bit smaller over here. So I usually increase the left and right padding or even double it, and it just looks a bit better. Okay, so mark this as done. Make the about me avatar round like a circle. Okay, let's do that. So right now it's squarish, so we do border radius, and if we do 10 pixels, you can see that it's a bit rounded over here. If we do 50 pixels, it's even more rounded, but if we do 50%, it's gonna become a circle. Okay, and set the width to 100% and border color to this one. Okay. By the way, guys, a quick thing, there will be time for questions and answers at the end of this, so stay tuned. Okay, so we set the width to 100% and border, let's make it half 0.5 rem, solid, and this is the color. Okay, so we got a nice color over here. However, this image is quite big on the screen, so let's see. It sits inside the About Me avatar wrapper. Okay, and let's say max with 50%. Okay, margin. We want it to be separated from this text and a bit above, so we can say margin 1 rem, which is, this one is top and bottom, and this one is left and right. So now it's centered itself. Okay, and border color, this is About Me avatar. This one is done. and the next one is about me after wrapper as okay, set the border to white with transparency. Okay, border 0.5 rem solid, and if we want to do transparency we need to specify the camera is this one, the red, green, blue and alpha channel. So if we quickly switch to Photoshop, or any color picker you want. No, don't add any new features. Don't mess up my string. Okay. Open 6, this one. Anyway, this is Photoshop, and in here, if we select the white color, we can see that RGB is 255 for all 3 channels. Okay, so if we do RGBA 255, 255, 255, and let's do 0.8. Okay, so we have a transparency of 0.5. Looks a bit better. 0.3, even better. Okay, so for this one, let's also do a border radius, 50%. Okay, so now we have those 2 nice circles over here, and mark this is done. Use the after pseudo selector to add 1 or more borders and position it outside by 1.5 rem. Okay, so in order to use this after, in SASS we can do the ampersand and then after, and in here we want to say content, and if we say something as the value of the content, it's not in there, we have too many dots. Yeah, we can see that this something appeared there. However, we don't want the something. We just confirmed that there is this after element inside the div, and we made it empty. Right now we want to position it in relation to about me avatar wrapper. So we do position relative here, and we do position absolute here. So the way position absolute works, it starts looking for the first parent it encounters, and if it doesn't encounter any parent, it goes all the way up to the body in HTML. So it looks for a parent that has position relative, absolute or fixed, and then it relates to that one. So since we specify position relative to its parent, it's gonna stop there. Okay, so over here I think we want to do the same border. However, we don't see anything yet, so let's do top minus 1.5 rem. Let's do bottom 2. Okay, and now let's do left. By the way, if you see me duplicating these lines without doing copy paste, it's by pressing the Alt Shift on Windows and up or down arrow depending on where I want to clone this line. And you can also see those keys happening on the screen, so pay attention to it. See, we duplicate it there, and we do right. Okay, so we also want a border radius of 50%. So now if we change this to 0.5, you can see that we control where this starts and ends. Okay, so let's mark this as done. Now style the about me full name. Okay, about me full name. Okay, what's the chat looking like? We can't see. Where is that? Oh, okay. So now that we got to the name, right? The full name and title. Let's see, do this font size 1.5 Arial. Oh, that's a bit small. Let's try 2.5 Arial. That's a bit better. And then we also want to style the about me title. Let's do directly 2 Arial. Okay, let's see. I should move the camera or this one a bit more down. Guys, I hope you can see it better now. Okay. No errors. Okay, the about me full name and about me title. Okay, the title updated by this unicorn trainer did not update. So let's see what's up with this. Unicorn trainer is somewhere here. It's full title. Let's just remove this full over here and make it title. Now the unicorn trainer updated too. And let's continue styling those ones. Okay. And for this, here's the font size, adjust padding and set color to white. So color white. Right. Okay. Let's increase adjust the padding. Okay, so padding 1 rem. That looks a bit better. How's the chat looking like? Guys, can you see properly now? Drop a link in the comment if you can see the code properly. Okay, a comment, not a link. Anyway, so padding 1 rem and let's align them. Text align center. Okay, that looks a bit better. Let's do 0 here. 1 rem and 2 rem. So what I did now is I shifted the padding, so the top is 0, left and right is 1, and bottom is 2. Okay, so looks a bit better over here. Okay, what else? What's next? This is next. Slogan and content. Okay, supposed to look like one and the same anyway. So let's do the about me slogan. D. Set the align to justify for the about me slogan. However, the slogan and content are one and the same. So let's style both of them. Okay. About me slogan and about me content. Font size 1.5 and 1.6, but no, 0.7, yeah, looks nice. And we want them to text align justify. Okay, so now we also want to do some padding. And If we want to only shift the first line, we do text indent, 1 rem, it's 2, 3, that looks better. Okay, let's move on to the next one, Alt D. How is it looking, Graziela? Okay, so the next one is align the button links in the About Me button link list to center. So first of all, well, let's do this one firstly. Text align center. Well, it positions them on the center. However, we still need to do some more work over here. Fix the icon issue. What icon issue? Let's see. This is the icon. Okay, there's a dot here. Okay, so if we go into this link, we can see a dot in the class, which is definitely not what we want. And now we've got the icons in. So we got this GitHub, Word, and Word file. So let's do mark this is done, mark this is done, and set the border of the link button. Okay, so let's add a class here, About Me link. Okay, and the About Me link should have a display log, maybe. Yeah, that looks better. Width. Okay, 80%. Let's do inline dog. Yeah. Okay, and let's increase the font size. Size to 2 rem. Let's inspect it for a moment. So, okay, I got this span and this span over here. So let's do this 3 rem. Okay, and this is a bit too big now. Let's also remove the text decoration, remove the underline. None. Okay, that looks a bit nicer. Okay, class my icon. So okay, if we want to only target, let's do this one. About me link description. Okay. So we take this one and we put it in here. Say font size 1.5 rem. How's the chat going? Using to do this. Hey Zarif, this software is called Pagestarter, which you can find on github.com. So basically, if you follow the steps on YouTube, so on YouTube you go on CodeTap/playlists, and there are so many playlists that you can follow over here. This particular one with this project is, you can find all the videos in here, and if you follow it, we start from scratch with nothing in the project. So we make a clone of Pagestarter, then we reset some files over there, and we start with the very first file, like the index.html, which is index.pag. There is also some other software required, like Node.js and Gulp, and you can, while you follow those movies, you can find links about them in the description on how to set up Node.js, an editor, Gulp, and everything that's needed. So follow those playlists and you get exactly to the same point where we are right now with the project. Pagestarter has lots of features. One of the ones that I prefer is the auto refresh. So as soon as I save over here, when I press save, this one is refreshed over here. So the SASS files are compiled into CSS and then the browser refreshes. Also Pag is compiled into HTML and then the browser refreshes. So that's one of the let's say features that I like most about this setup. And there are many more, even more amazing than this one. I'll talk about them in some later lives or at the end of this one. So now let's see, set the color of the border of the link. So let's do border, border link, border 0.2 rem, solid, and this is the color. Let's see how it looks. Okay, background white. Let's make it a bit bigger. Yeah. Border radius 3 rem. Let's see how it looks later. Background color white. Okay, and margin 1 rem. 2. Okay. We also want to align these items inside using display flex, so we just say display flex. Come on, display flex. Ooh, looks nice, looks better. Justify content, space around, space between, space around. Doesn't do much. Center, that's still fine. Decoration, got a border. Okay, let's do okay, and padding 1 rem. Looks a bit better. Okay. However, that border radius is too much. Where is that border radius? Yeah, much nicer. Okay, border color 2. This is the color. Do we have a color here? No. Okay, that's better. Choose the font size and make the corner rounded, remove the underlining. So this is pretty much done. Let's mark this as done. So the code ID. HTML. Okay. Actually, I can move the video down. Let me put this on this side, and if we move this a bit like that and move the video down, yeah, you won't see the errors. I will see them, but it works for the moment. Okay, set the about me link description. Alignment to center. Don't think we need it. And the line height to 1.5. Let's see line height if we still need it. Yeah. It's a bit easier to read. Although we have big buttons. So now let's see, if we open this link in new tab, it goes to the original My Resume, and if we click this one, it wants to download document, and this one as well. It wants to download the document. Okay, what else is left? Okay, let's go a little faster. Well, we'll go a little faster. We copy this, save the file, go to the source control, wait for this to catch up. Come on. Really? What are you looking for? Something must be wrong. Again. Git status. Okay, git add. So instead of doing it from over here, since Visual Studio wants to catch up with Git for whatever reason, I'll just do it manually. So I'll do git add dot, which means add everything, every change that we've made. I'll do git status again. So now they went from red to green, and say git commit -m for message, and then paste in style the about me section. Okay, git pull, git push, and that should be okay. Serious. Anyway, this should work now. So now it's time for question and answers. If you have any questions, I'll be waiting for them in the chat message. Let me make a note. We're going to do any Gulp tutorials. Well, there's one. This project runs on Gulp. So whenever I say npm start, if we look into package.json, let me close this for a second. So if we look into package.json, where is it? Yeah, over here. When I say npm start, it is a shortcut to Gulp dev, and there are lots of Gulp scripts that power this project. For example, it converts Pag into HTML, converts SASS into CSS, watches for files, copies and optimizes images. So there are lots of them over here. However, I'll be jumping into JavaScript a bit later next year. I think February could be the soonest. However, I don't have a set date yet. Just simple projects in my head that I could talk about. However, it's a good idea and a great question. I'll be talking about JavaScript more in the future, in 2018, and hopefully I'll also cover Gulp, npm, Grunt. I'm not sure about Grunt, but anyway. Any more questions? Let's see. How's that, Joel? I definitely can go a bit faster. However, I want to make sure that most of the users catch up with what happens over here. At the same time, this is my third live show, and the first one where I did not forget to also record the screen from the start. So most of this movie or whatever you have seen will be also published on YouTube in 4K resolution. that means that it will be very, very sharp, and it depends on the resolution that your monitor or your TV can support. You can view it in a very, very good quality. I'll be waiting a couple more minutes to see if there are any more questions. If not, tomorrow we'll do some refactoring of this code, especially regarding the colors that we use. We use a lot of whites and other colors, and if later on, let's assume that a client comes in and asks us to change some of the colors, it will be quite tedious for us to go in all places, search and replace and so on. So what we want to do is to extract those colors into variables and into one file, one centralized file, then make these variables available to all the other ones that need it. And basically when we change a color, we change it in one place and it propagates to the entire project. That's one of the things that we'll be doing in the next lesson. The other way around it. And if the time allows us, we'll continue with the next section. And the next section, let's have a quick look about how it looks. So it's my resume.bit.ok. Okay, so this is the first one, the landing page. This is the second one, and the third one is something to play with more loops and more colors and usable code. Because, for example, we see this about me here, and then there is another one over here, and so on. So later on, we want to reuse some of those properties, so we don't end up redeclaring them over and over again. So a bit of refactoring, and maybe start working on the structure of the award section. Definitely, Rajiv. I hear you guys. Since some of you already requested more about Gulp, Pug, and NPM tutorials, I'll be thinking of something to satisfy you. I'll be thinking of them, and I'll definitely come back with an answer. Okay. Thank you, Rajiv, and thank you, Joel, and thank you, Razvan, for your input. Definitely, good questions. I messed up. That's not help me. Okay, guys. I think it's time to wrap up, unless I can see another question. Simple code HTML. Okay, so Vlad Ionuț, let me show you what happens with this project and what happens to the Pug files. So every time we press save, we have we always work in this source SRC folder. Everything that we do is in here. Unless you're a bit more advanced and you know how to start changing stuff into Gulp, we will be focusing only on the source folder. Every time while you develop, every time you press save, if the file that you just changed, it's watched, like path files, SASS files, image files, and so many other ones. Let's quickly look at what files are we watching for. So see, those are the file types that we are watching for. Most of them. Okay, so every time you press save, in the background, let's open the console. Where is okay, so this is the console. So every time we press save, we can see that this just ran. So now if we press save again, another one just ran, right? So it's watching for files, and those Pug files are compiled into HTML. So let me clean up this screen a bit. So this HTML file is regenerated every time we press save over there. However, we can easily manage it, because right now if we look at it, it's only 85 lines, but the more we start writing code, the bigger this file becomes, and it will be not very easy for you to manage it. So what we do is we separate the data into, let's say, JSON files or JavaScript objects or arrays and so on. We separate the data in there. Then we create a template, and we apply that data to the template, which generates in turn this HTML. So that's how this project is built. And just to quickly wrap this up, let me show you one of the best features of this way of working. So let's copy this my resume bit.uk address. Okay, so we copy it and we go for Google Pagespeed. And if we go on Pagespeed Insights, it's one tool that Google offers, and we analyze this page, we can see that Google gave this project that we are working on a score of 100 of 100. That's too much. Okay, 100 of 100 on mobile and 100 of 100 on desktop, which is rarely seen on the web, to have a web page with perfect Google PageSpeed score on both mobile and desktop. So this is one of the features that all students that follow those tutorials will be able to achieve, and if not 100 of 100, they'll be like 90 plus without any issues. So just following those tutorials, using those techniques, you'll be able to get